Okay, we'll start it now. So suppose if I want to do the sorting means suppose in this region, I want region to be in order. That means New England should come at the top, then the Mid England and Midwest and things like that. And also I want to sort it by person and item. So if I want to do the sorting on multiple columns, so just pressing, selecting everything, and if I do the sort, it doesn't do. Suppose if I select everything here and go to data and sort it, so it is going to sort only on one column. The first column, it is going to sort it. But if I want the sorting to be on region, on this region, and also on the same person, so you select the data and go to this custom sort. And here, see there is an order ID. You change this to, since we did the sorting there, it has taken the order ID as the first column to sort. So either you can remove this by delete level, or you can change this to region. Region, I want to sort it by, that means alphabetically the A should come at the top. And also I want to sort it by salesperson. So click the level again. And here I want by salesperson and click OK. You can see there's a Midwest at the top, then New England, the West Coast. And within Midwest, you can see the Adams at the top, then Andrew, then last is coming the Stevenson. So here in the New England, it is starting with John's and then parent, then here there is 2. And suppose again you want to change the sort order. Select again, go to the sort. Add maybe one more. Maybe the item I want to add it. So I will add the item here. But this item is at the sort. Actually, I wanted at the, so I can just click here, this arrow to move it down. That means it will be sorted by region, salesperson, then the item. So here, under Midwest, you will see there is a Adams. In Adam, there is a binder, pen set, and then the pencil. So it comes in this order. So under Midwest, is the Midwest. I'll highlight it. This Midwest, there's a Adams. Under Adam, so you will see binder first, then the pen set, then pencil. Within Adams, this is sorted. Again, under Smith, you can see there is a binder and pencil, pen and pencil. And here there is same items. And here also, under Jones, there is binder, pen and pencil. Suppose if I want in the reverse order, so select again, go to the data, custom sort. Item I want in a reverse. That means I want the pencil to go up and the binder to come down. I'll change this sort to Z to A. So I'll change it here. Under Adams, you'll see that a pencil comes at the top, binder at the end. This is how you can do the sorting. If I want to do the filter, select entire data and you can click on filter, or you can just press Control Shift L. So if the easy method to remember all this shortcut is, see, when you keep your cursor on this menu item, it will show you what is that shortcut, Control Shift L. Suppose if I am in the home, if I want to know what is the auto sum shortcut, just keep the cursor here. So it's showing you, see, Alt and equals. So that is an easy way to remember the shortcuts. If you use it a couple of times, definitely you will remember. So this is a filter. If you don't want again, so Control Shift L to apply the, and Control Shift L. Control Shift L. Now I can filter it. Suppose if I want only the salesperson, say Adams, click here at the arrow and I can uncheck everything by clicking here. And I will select Adams and click OK. So only the Adams is filtered here. Or if I want something back, I'll just clear the filter. So it comes back. Or if I want maybe Andrew or maybe pencil only I want. Only the pencil I want to see who all salesperson is dealing with pencil. I can filter here. So pencil, it is under Midwest and New England and West Coast. All 3 places that pencil is sold. So this is how you can do the sort and filter. Now, one more thing is, suppose if I want, now there is a filter. If I want to remove the filter, there is one method is you can go here and filter here. But suppose if I have something like you have multiple columns having a filter, and here also you may have maybe Smith. So that means you have filter on the region, you have a filter set on the salesperson, you have filter on the item as well. To remove the filter easily, one is you can go and keep it here. That means 3 places you have to go. Suppose if you have 10 columns, you have to go to 10 places and do it. Instead, easy method is just press Control Shift L and again Control Shift L. So it will remove the filter and applies back. All your filter, whatever you set before, it will go. So that is a easy method. Suppose if I want the total of so I can put the total here. Again, Alt equals will give you the total. Suppose if I am applying the filter, Control Shift L, and I am filtering only the West Coast. The total is not correct. If you look at the total, is supposed to be 22. So you can see this total here on the right down corner. You can see there is an average, there is a count, and there is a sum. By default, you can see that as a quick reference. You can see the totals here at the right corner, right down corner. You can see that. But this sum is actually, if you look at this, the range is G2 to G22. So filter doesn't have any effect on this. Even if you have it, all the items here are New England and West Coast, still the total is same. It is not changing. That means this filter is, this sum is not taking the filter into consideration. So we should use a different formula here, not the normal sum. So remove this.
Sum total.
Now you click on auto sum. See this is a different formula is coming. Previously when I clicked on the auto sum, it gave you sum, SUM. Now it is going to give you a subtotal. And here there is a 9. This 9 is sum. So under subtotal, you have multiple things like the sum is for 9. So you choose the sum and the range what it is G2 to G22. G2 to G22 and press enter. Now it is showing, see, this is the total, right? 6793 here. Suppose if I am filtering only 2 items, West Coast, these 2 items, that 2258. That means you should always use the subtotal. Even there is no filter. So suppose if there is no filter here, I'm removing, but still it will give you correct total. So if it is possible, always use this subtotal. In case if there is a chance of you applying a filter in future, so your total may go wrong. So you can use the subtotal even if there is no filter. So I will apply the filter, Control Shift L, and I will filter on maybe Adams. The total is this. So you have seen this subtotal. This is 9 is for sum. Suppose if this is a sum, and if I want the average equals, you can press that subtotal and tab. So here for average it is, press the comma, and the range is this one, and press. So this is giving you the 4 items here, and this is your average. So even if I change this to maybe say Adams to put everything here, and here I will put only the West Coast. So it is giving me this as the average. If I want to know the count of it, how many are there in this filtered one, again subtotal, and here there is a count. And again, comma, range is this one. So always try to use this subtotal. So it gives you a better thing. So this is two count. I mean, if I am using this New England also, if I add it, I think this range is wrong. Range should be G2 to G22. So there are 7 items here. So this is the count. This is the average. Okay. Now if I want to put a comments, so you can just right click here and click the, see if you are on a older version, this is a comment. Even a newer version, if it is Office 365 all, so it is a note actually. It is a comment is like a note. The actual comment in newer version is like a posting. You can right click and insert a new note and you can keep it wherever you want. Suppose if I want to be placed somewhere, so I can, or I can change the position. I can put, okay, maybe I can put a comment, something like this. So this comments can be, now by default it is hidden. Suppose if I want to show the comment all the time, here, right click here and show hide comment. So it is always shown here. So this is how you can show or hide, or you can go to show or hide the comments. When I print this sheet, so if I press Control P is for printing the sheet. So here you don't see these comments. There is no comment visible here. So to see that comments in the sheet, you can go to page setup. Under comments, there is a as displayed. If you select this, it is going to display like how you entered in your page. If I don't want to show these comments at the end of, and here to show at the end of the sheet, that also there. You can say at the end of the sheet, but it will just show the location. It will be in the second page here. Here it is not shown, but if you go to the second page, you can see all the comments which are shown. Whichever setup as it suits to you, you can choose it. Suppose say as displayed in the sheet, you can do it. And here there are options. If it's the entire workbook, it is going to select everything. Here by default, it is only active sheet. That means whichever I selected, it is showing. Press escape or press this back arrow to come back to the sheet. See, now you are in this sheet. If I want to do any sort or filter, again you have to go to the data sheet and go here, do the custom sort, filter and things like that. If I want to do it fast, or if I want to do a, say, if I want to do the border, I have to go here, select this, and again if I want the thicker border, I have to go here, select this, and if I want to delete a row here, I have to go to delete and delete cells. So this is, you have to go toggle between different tabs here. Here, you can right click any of the options. Suppose if I want this to be at the quick access toolbar, right click, add to quick, it comes here. Or if I want this to be in the quick, I can select it. What I was showing was, see here, you can add options here. Suppose if I want the sort is not here. So if I am using regularly, again, I have to go to data tab. If I am here on the home tab, I have to go to the data tab, then choose this sort. So to avoid that one click or two clicks, you can right click, add to quick access toolbar is here. Or this one also, if I want, I can do it. This also, I can add it to this, or maybe this also. So now, wherever you, if you are in home tab or insert tab or page layout, still this is constant. Quick access toolbar is constant here. So now, if I want to do the sort, no need to go to data tab and click here. So if I am here also, just click here. Or if I want to do a border, so I just click here, or click here, whatever. Or if I want a filter, I can click here directly. So this is how you can customize your Excel as you want. Whichever functions you are using regularly, you add it to this quick access toolbar. You can add any number of options here. And a couple of shortcuts I want to show is, one is if I want to do a formatting, so the one shortcut which I use very regularly, frequently is Control-1. Control-1 is easy to remember as well, but very useful. I mean, you always use it. Control-1 will take you to the format cell. Otherwise, in normal scenario, you have to right click and go to format cell and do it. So here, I think formatting and all, we'll just do one more formula calculation. So this is your salary calculation. Okay, this is 15% of the basic pay, and 3% is income tax, 20% is basic. Of the basic is your HRA, and transport allowance is 500. I'll make it a little bigger, the screen. So I'm zooming out. So let us get the value here. So to calculate 15%, we'll just type it here, 15%. How do we write the 15%? One method is 0.15, you can put it. Or other method is 15 and space and put the percentage. So it calculates as 15%. And this is 3%. And this is 20%. And this is, we leave it as it is. Why I entered here is, we can't refer this cell because there is a text here. So just want to take out this number and I'm putting it here, 15%, 3% and 20%. So let us put the formula here. What is that HRA? HRA is 20% of your basic. This is your basic. So 20% of the basic means equals this 20% into this basic. So for 10,000 basic, you are getting a HRA of 2,000. So just drag the same formula here. So I'm sorry. See why this error came here is, see when I drag this formula, here the formula is referring to this and here. Same formula if I copy down, it is referring to this cell and this. So this is wrong because we want this to be referring to this cell all the time. This can be moved, but this should be constant. So what we should be doing is, we should log this part, the C part, this C3, this should be logged, because when we copy the formula down, it is going to change. Otherwise, every time after copying, you have to go here, make it C3 here, and again here, you have to make it C3. So this is a headache. I mean, all the time you have to do it. So instead, make this C3 locked. How to lock it? Select the C3, press F4, function 4. When you are here, select the C3, only C3 part only, press F4. So it will give you $C, $3. That means it is locked. So this B7 you leave as it is. So now when I drag it down, if you look at here, so it is still referring to the same C3 because this is locked. But B8, when I come down, if I am here, still it is referring to 20% because this is locked. Dollar means it is locked. That is we call it as a absolute reference. The dollar sign is for the absolute reference, and this is a relative. Relative is the one which changes. Relatively it changes. Suppose if it is referring to 7 here, when I move here, it becomes 8. But in the absolute reference, when there is a dollar sign, these both are locked. Here column and row I locked it. Some places you may lock only column. That means $C will be there. These 3 will be kept open. In this case, I locked both. So this is how you can calculate. So now when I come to the traffic allowance, I mean transport allowance. What is the transport allowance? It says 500. So you don't type it here 500. So you know, okay, this is the number I want, type it. So don't do this way. So tomorrow if there is a change, so suppose this becomes 600, again you have to come here and do it, right? So don't do this way. So always refer to the same cell, equals, and drag it. Is that correct? Again the same problem. See, now this is referring to this cell. When the formula we copied here, this is came down. This was referring to 4th row. Now it has come to 5th row. This is referring to 6th row. So what we should be doing is, this one also again we have to lock it. Select here, press F4, function 4. Press enter and copy it here. So this is your transport allowance. What is your income tax? Income tax says this is 15% of your basic pay. So again equals this multiplied by your basic pay, and press enter. And we know if I drag it again, it's going to give me a wrong answer because this is not locked. So we should lock this value. This 15%, we have to lock it. That means this C1, we have to lock it. F4 and press enter and drag it down. And what is your cess? Cess is 3% on the income tax, not on the basic. You should be careful. This is 3% on your income tax. Income tax is this one. So equals 3%, this one multiplied by income tax. So anyhow, we know that this should be locked, the C2. So we'll press F4. So $C, $2 multiplied by E7. And now we'll copy down. This is your cess. And now we'll calculate the net pay. Net pay is how we calculate equals. So which all deductions in this basic pay, HRA, transport allowance is your incomes. Basic pay plus HRA plus transport allowance minus income tax minus cess is your net pay. So your basic pay was 10,000, HRA 2,000, this was 5,000. So net is, and income tax you paid 1,500, net is this much, and now drag it down. So this is how you can calculate your salary. Suppose if there is a change, the advantage of referring the cell is, suppose tomorrow this income tax is changed. Maybe this has become, maybe the government rule is changed. They made it say 20%. No need to go to every cell and change it. Just change it here in the one cell only. So here I'm changing it, everything is changed. Or if this is become 15%, so it is changing everywhere. Or this one has become say 5% cess. If you look at here, only the cess column and net pay will be changed. So always don't use any hard coded values in the formulas. Always refer to a cell. Suppose if I put 3% here, say instead of the cess, instead of referring to the cell, if I had put here only say 5%, every row you have to go and change it. So that is not correct, or you may miss out something. So always put it in a cell here, and in the formula, you always refer the cell, not the values. Don't put the values at all in the formulas. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon to receive more videos.